All right, welcome back to Reactive Terrain. What's on the desk? This is what's on the desk. So, we are building a full-blown trail truck series 6x6, 4x4s, and the good old 8x8s, because there are some lovely kits out there at the moment. And also, the accessibility to be able to build your own versions of this is kind of a lot wider than it was maybe a year ago. This is one of our 3D printed kits that we're going to be sorting out. Still working on the back. It's basically a big roll bar system that comes up over the top of the cab and then comes down here. I've got a scale pod going on the back of here, which has got a fuel tank and a big air filter. But that's on the print at the moment, so we can't really see all that. But let's have a look and see what we've got going underneath. Let's take that out and take the cab off. Take the plate off. Probably might change this. This could probably do coming down a little bit lower and maybe pocket out. But then if I pocket out, nobody's gonna have the same mag mounts as me anyway. So yeah. All right. So I'm actually using the Ramp Crab chassis. We've actually had a few of these. We've had the Gladiator style, and then this is the C10 or Deadbolt. You know, back in the day when we had these were like it was about 25 quid. They come with a brass flat skid. They're 7 degree, you know, carbon fiber. I mean, carbon fiber is carbon fiber at the end of the day, and then it's 3D printed parts to go on it. The only thing that was a bit gnarly with them were these style links, but I do have a few of them, so I am going to use them because this isn't going to get as much use as, you know, say an everyday trail truck. So I do have, you know, all the links to go with it. Now, I don't actually have to fabricate a back piece for this because down here, the little seats for the cab is the Ramp Crab 6x6 conversion kit. So it comes with your 16-tooth spleen and little plate with a hole in it so you can attach your rear axle. Comes with a carbon fiber extension. Obviously there is 2 of these. Oh, there's the other one. 2 of those. Comes with some small links, so it's going to keep it quite nice and close at the rear, and then just some hardware, some little extensions. These are for where the links go, and some metal aluminium tubing to brace it across, and then I can figure out how I'm going to set it all up. I am going to be running it on these lovely Mod PROs from Batrazzi. Great tires. One thing I have noticed, that one's really super soft. So the ones that come on the Unimog are super soft. That one's a little harder. So I've got all the super soft ones, and then I got harder ones on the rear, and then I'll put the 2 hard ones on for spares, so that I've got myself a full set, so it looks nice and scaled. What else are we doing? I'll upgrade the servo for a 9 or an i9 mod servo, and yeah, this is the Group RC. This thing's got tons of torque, even though it's only a 2S. But we've used this in a few rigs, and it's got some kick, it's got some punch when you want it. So I think this would be a perfect addition for a 6x6 because I think it'll handle it quite well. Overdrive in the front, standards obviously in the rear. I've got full Ramp Crab axles on it, and then we'll put some weight. So yeah, I'm going to pack this so it's, you know, I'm hoping that even with all this big body on it, it's going to be really capable. It's going to hold its own. Looking forward to detailing this up. Just printing it in the blue and black is probably what I'm going to go for. And yeah, this gets connected into the back of the cab like so, and then obviously with this one, I think what I'll do is I might do a little plate that goes over there if I do decide to do this as a kit, so that anybody that doesn't need a big hole can kind of use it. But I guess it depends on your chassis as well, and I can't make a plate for every chassis, or I'd have to like bring this right up here so that it cleared everything, and then it'd just be crazy high, which is not what I want. I'm also going to be running the Batrazzi oil shocks on it. These are 40 mils, so that'll keep it nice and steady as she goes. Yeah, but I need to get it all printed up so I can get it all in position. I think I'll probably build this first, get this built, and then we'll see what it's like once all the axles and all the wheels are all connected. I'm sure this is what everybody else's desk looks like when they're doing a build. Anyway, found some more links. I was decided to in the kit they give you some really short links, so I'm going to see if I can actually put them right up front. So I'm going to get this front end really tucked up inside the actual carriage, and then I'll use the front of the deadbolt and deadbolt rear to make the next, you know, the 4 and 6. Try and keep that front end really close to the breakover. It's going to be nice and good for it. So it sits. Trying to million and one hands. But yeah, you kind of get the idea. I want it kind of set up. It might be too close. It might end up being right up in there. So I'm not sure how it's going to look. So I need to get these little 41s on there and see what it looks like. And then we can see if that's a goer or a no-go. All right, here we are back with the 6x6. Just a pile of 3D printed parts. All right, so ramp crab chassis goes together quite nice. I've kind of changed how I'm doing it though, because I've actually used the set that they give you in the kit, which is probably for the rear. I've actually put it on the front to pull this front right in, so it's overhang. So it's got a decent breakover for doing hill climbs and stuff like that. Then I've actually used quite a short wheelbase next. So I think this is the C10 front. And then I've used the C10 front again on here. Now, I could pull this wheel slightly closer, but what this gives me a bit of an opportunity to be able to put some 1.2s on it if I want to, or even go up to some 72 mils if I want to. I would have to actually kind of get rid of this little bit here, because you'd never get a 70 mil turning circle on that. You see, it's quite close there already. Doesn't foul though when it's at full compression, so we're close, but no cigar, so it's good. Body, just going to do some flat mounts for it at the moment. It kind of sits on there, so the wheels kind of sit out the back, which is perfect. And I've just got quite a lot of high clearance, and then this is all the roll bar work that goes in it. So you've got an internal roll bar, gets just glued into there, and once you put your roof on, and that goes onto there like that. And there's a window bar as well, a couple of seats as well. I've got some seats, put a couple of dudes in there, and then this one goes up over the top, kind of situates on the bumper over the top, and then you've got the side bars as well that locate into there. Oh, that's that one, and on there as well, like this. Yeah, well, you get the picture. And then a couple of brace bars that then kind of situate in there. And I'm also want to 3D print a twin wheel carrier that sits the wheels like this. So one will go in there and the other one will go in there, which will look quite nice on the back of it. We'll get some tow ropes on it and stuff like that. And then I've also got a load of scaled items, so fuel tank, air canisters, and a air filter to go on that as well. So it kind of gives you a nice look of what we're at, where we're going. I can't get the body any lower unless I actually kind of sat it kind of valleyed out underneath, but honestly I think it's it'll be okay. I can get it a smidge lower than what it is, so I'll get that pushed down. But clearance is everything. It does worry me a little bit trying to do this with a LCG chassis. I suppose if it was a straight chassis, this engine would sit right up here. I don't know if that would actually affect it too much. Plenty of weight on the bottom of it, brass rings in all the wheels, brass knuckles on the front, bit of brass on the rear. So we'll get it together and we'll see what it kind of performs like before I kind of throw too much at it. Extension in. Now what I've also done is lean the rear quite far forward, so the rear has got quite a lot of articulation. The only thing I'm probably going to do is take this bar and put it up top, because actually it's hitting. So I'm going to try and give that a little bit more. Oh, there be your problem, son. You get no wheel nuts on it. The other thing I've also done is I've actually made these a little thinner, only by about 3 mil. So the rear is a smidge thinner than the rest of it. Fronts are, you know, nice and upright. Keep that big, heavy body done, but it's got a fair bit. It's got least. It's easy to. No, easy to. Easy to. Has it got 3? Let's have a look. Well, I mean, it has, because that's on the floor, that's not. And yeah, it's got a comfortable 3. I mean, that's more than enough flex for a 6x6. And yeah, I've tried to keep all my drive shafts relatively straight and parallel as well, so I'm not putting too much bind and pressure. This thing's got quite a lot of torque on it. For a budget ESC motor, you cannot go wrong with this Group RC, really, for what you pay for it. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it so far. Love that, lifts the rear wheels up. Okay. Hey, well, you know, we build it and then we tweak it once we're done. These may have to go slightly more upright to push this down, but I don't want it leading with the rear. So yeah. Okay, so I actually moved these shocks and pulled it down a little bit, just because the alignment wasn't great, but I pretty much got the alignment spot on now. The only thing I've got to adjust is, I'm not sure you're going to see because of the light, but I got I have a little bit of an alignment issue with the 2 drive shafts. This one is kind of level, and this one, well, you can see it's kind of dipping forwards. So I'm going to 3D print a upper link mount so that I can add a bit of adjustment on that, so that those are nice and parallel. Otherwise, I'm just going to struggle with binding issues on the drive shafts. I've got to detail up the stack and the system at the back. So I just got fuel tank, air filter stack, air tank, and then the 2 wheels on the back as well. I'm also going to, underneath here, I get a little pointy device. Here's a little pointy device. I'm actually going to put a panel that kind of comes up and covers this area up, like a little shield. And I could put some maybe sponsors on it, or, you know, just paint it so it kind of blanks that off. I think that'll give it a nice look. And then underneath there'll be a bar that kind of runs all the way along as well, around the back, and then so it frames this blue bed as well. So there'll be a big bar that kind of runs around as well, and I think that would really kind of set it off. And then I got myself a little driver. He'll go in there as well. So he'll be sitting in there. You've got to put a winch on it somewhere. I'm actually tempted to cut the let me just take this guy off. Just take this off quickly. We just pull the whole thing off. Comes off a nice one big. Well, they get screwed on. There's the holes. This all gets screwed on. and then the actual roll cage is separate to the truck. That way, if I do break it, I can just print another one and screw it back down. What I'm probably going to do is get this mounted back in down here somewhere like that, and cut this top beam off so that I can then mount a winch internally, and then the winch can then come through, because I think definitely going to need a winch. So I'm going to get a winch to manually go in there. Enough room to put a 1/10 one as well, so I can get quite a big winch in there. All right, so here we go. This is the this is where we're at. It actually looks worse than what it is. This Group RC actually has doesn't have holes that pass through the prop shafts, so I guess it would have had like grub screws instead of actual screws. So I've just swapped it out for a generic SCX 24 one, which means the screw goes all the way through. It's having a bit of a drive shaft issue. I'm actually running a ramp crab front, but I haven't got a ramp crab one for the mid and rear yet, because well, it's tied up on other vehicles and I'm not stripping down because I've got enough piles of vehicles as it is. We're actually at a point where I've got so many faults on so many vehicles that I've barely got anything running. But there we go. We're meant to be going out on Saturday, gonna head back up to Bracken Rocks for the UK Scale Nation. So yeah, I got good old Unimog down the bottom, the old Swamp Donkey. Got a couple of camel trophies. The LC80, I've got to put a servo into it, so I've got to get those sorted out. That's a bit dead in the water because the gearbox is a bit knackered in it. I don't know what's going on. I think I've pulled a tooth in the gearbox, so I've got to get that sorted out. We're going to take the K5 up with us. That's working. What else is working? I'm not taking that K10 because I'm building a record back end for it at the moment, so it's in working. Yeah, look at the state of my blooming room. It's ridiculous. But there we go. Right. And the problem is, this time every year it just gets mental for me because it's event week, event season, Halloween, Christmas. Literally halfway through summer, that's all my life becomes, is building props, building stuff for Christmas and Halloween, and then doing all the setups for events, and then you have to take it all down and then do it again. So hobby side of things and the YouTube channel always takes a little bit of a hit because of that. But yeah, the 6x6 is all right. I've got a few edits to make on the final print. I'll get the body back on it, but that's something I'll do when I reprint another one. I'm basically going to smash this one up first before I print another one. Yeah, I mean it was a pretty easy build. You know, ramp crab front, middle, rear. Put weights on the rears. I've actually got a slightly narrower at the rear than the two fronts. This is about the same wheelbase as FCX18 K10, so it's not overly long, so that's pretty cool. And really, Scale Nation will be the first time I kind of take this out and give it a go. It's definitely fouling on all this front end, but I think I need to edit this off, get rid of this, so we can put slightly bigger wheels on if needed, and then I'll put a scoop bumper on it, which is, you know, the bumpers that are kind of like that, so they push up stuff. And what I might do is just take a hacksaw and chop this off, and chop this off, and then I can basically glue the new bumper and scoop front onto the actual cab itself, which is where it would mount in the first place. So I might have enough time to do that. I don't know. Check this weird thing out. Look at this critter. This is a new little project that I just thought I'd go a little south, little left turn. Everyone's doing, you know, scaled stuff, and I thought I'd go a little biomechanical, bit alien, bit weird. I did post a picture of this and got some really funny comments. People said it looked like a bike seat, which at that angle it does. Somebody said it looked like an elongated mouse, which I guess it does, and some other weird things, but that's actually running on the jawbreaker, but it's slightly different, so it's no longer a boa on the front. I've got this new Apex Roach thing on the back, so the battery sits right down in here now, and electronics up here. Give this a go, see how this setup works for it. It might not be as capable. The jawbreaker is really capable, especially for breakovers and really crazy lines. But yeah, I like experimenting, and it looks absolutely wicked on it. So and also Halloween's coming up, so this is a great little build for Halloween. Get some lights in it, get it all kind of, yeah, it's weird. Definitely looks like a cockroach to me, mechanical cockroach. Anyway, right, I'm going to spin this over, get the gearbox back in, and hopefully we'll then see this in, what's today? It's Thursday night. I've still got tomorrow night, and then we'll give it a good fire up and some test runs out in the wild up at Bracken Rocks. Alright, so I've just got things plopped in place at the moment, because this, although I haven't used it very much, it has started to play up. It didn't smell too great. I only was mucking around with it on the carpet, and it just it had that lovely electronic smell. So I'm not sure what's going to go on with that. Just got a 7 or 8 channel. I'm going to put lights in this. Going to have a winch on the back. It's kind of sitting nice and cool. Got a dude in it. I've got a roof for it somewhere. I don't know where it is. It's over here somewhere. I've got a couple of spare wheels that go on the back as well. I might even do a toolbox that kind of sits in here that takes the battery, depending on the weight position. There's already a ton of weight on the front, so I don't think it's going to matter if I put a battery right back here somewhere. I've actually made these little infill panels to go on the side, that sit on the rock sliders of the ramp craft chassis. It's just I can put some stickers on there, but it does just tidy up the side shot from underneath, and that's about it really. Put an i9 mod mode servo on it, so plenty of servo power now to get this thing rocking and rolling. It's pretty solid, doesn't, you know, still offloads a little bit. I've got bands on the back, but it's still, that's what I mean, there's a lot of weight on this front end, still offloading, but I've still got to put some weight on here, a couple of spare wheels. So like I say, I'll give it a test at the weekend, we'll see what it's like, and then yeah, readdress, have a look, if it lasts that long, if that doesn't smoke and blow up. All right, so here we go. This is the 6v6, and it's all right. I've got to definitely redesign that front end, as we spoke about earlier on in the video. It looks super cool. I am, however, only running on 5-wheel drive. Alright, so I've made a few adjustments. I've got the drive shafts working after the UK Scale Nationals, but there we go. It's what happens with these rigs. I did turn the steering rate down, but there, it still did it. I've actually mounted the battery on some Velcro. I still haven't had a chance to 3D print, but this will end up being redone. I think I'm also going to do a bar system that kind of goes around this outside edge as well, just to kind of bring that all in. So I've still got a few little drawings and CAD designs to finish, but I wanted to get this down here and see how well it does on the course. We're going to put it on, and green light says go. Let's go have some fun. All right, let's see how it does in the deep sand. This motor's quite aggressive. These pro muds though, you can hear them gripping. And this is where the problem lies. Like with these trucks, the front end sticks right out, and it's gonna just cause me a ton of problems. Now I could shorten it, the nose, but then, you know, what type of scale is it going to be? So I think all I've got to do is adjust that front end so I've got more of a nose on it. Let's take it. Oh, I forgot, I left the roof on. Let's take the roof off. There we go. All right. And all right, let's see how it goes up here. Okay, so this is going to get a little tricky up here because it's quite a narrow pass. You kind of got to rolled all the way off. I'm going to try and go up and bring it around a little bit more. There we go. Oh yeah. Right. It does look super cool though. Loving the way it looks. Look at it, the beastie up there. So it's, you know, 6x6 will go around there. You know, we actually had a little play of a Terranaut at the weekend just gone, and I was really surprised of how the 8x8 steering made such a big difference to it. All right, I'm gonna try and do this. Oh, that Group RC just really aggressive backwards. It's just so much torque on it. I'm gonna have to dial that in on the handset, I think. Oh, and we're down. Okay. Yeah, so it doesn't go. I thought for a second it went faster backwards than it did forwards, but it doesn't. It just goes crazy fast in forward and reverse. All right, so that was me trying to one-hand it over there. You can get quite tippy, but I think it would do it, you know, with me paying a bit more attention, or maybe at least driving with two hands. Let's go and put it over here, and let's just see what we can get. We know, you know, trying to go vertical climbs is not going to be the easiest thing, but they don't really do that. And if they do, it's mud, and they kind of ram the mud out the way. Yeah, up over this. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. All right, so this is a good little test. We're going to bring it down into this gully here. There goes the body. Yeah, I think creating those bull bars at the bottom is going to make a big difference to it. It'll allow it to hopefully push and glide up over it. So I think, you know, like I was saying, I'm going to bring these potentially down underneath maybe and mount them with some brackets underneath here. I've got to shorten this piece anyway because it's bulging out now. I've removed the front bumper, so I can edit all that in closer and just bring a bull bar right down so that when it's pushed up against this, it's actually got a slope to go on rather than a straight cut. It doesn't. It handles the train ridiculously well. We're going to come off down here. It's a bit risky because I'm not going to catch it if it does fall. Oh, sorry guys. I thought it was going to go. It is going to go. All right, so there's a really lovely. Can I slowly catch it? And it's oh. Okay. was a hell of a jump. I don't think I caught that on camera because I was too busy focusing. But yeah, that's a pretty big lump to go up, but it went up there. All right, we'll come at it aside. Let's see if I can do it again. That's this is what we do. We test these lines so that when we do, you know, we were talking, can we run a 6v6 set, yeah, and the 8v8 set reactive terrain? The answer is 100%. Oh, didn't get it right that time. Yeah, there we go. So, plenty of commitment, I think, with this type of rig, but oh, so good. Oh, you get no steam. Oh, there we go. Well, it goes on there, all right. Well, goes through there all right too. Oh. Okay. It's not too bad if you can get things at an angle. Oh, trying to get that. Oh, nice. Oh, oh. I think it would go up there, to be fair. I think if I actually mounted the camera, would be all right. It's quite. I'm running my GP7, whatever it is. It's not the easiest thing to drive with, and I'm actually driving with my other hand. Ooh. Oh, that was different. The reverse on this is ridiculous. You just pop it in reverse and it just goes crazy. I need to turn that down. How do I turn that down? Let's get the curve. No, let's go endpoint. Let's turn the endpoint down. Throttle. Let's see. There we go. Let's turn it up a smidge more. All right, let's mount the camera. Let's do some really good stuff. good. So I think if I wasn't so nervous about turning up my steering because of busting an axle, I think it would turn a lot better. You could, you know, a set of Mias or a good 55-degree turn axles on the front of this would really help. But then it's also quite big, so it might actually put it past its body tilt. Bigger tires, you know, but I like the scale side. I like it tough. But 6x6s go around here absolutely fine. In fact, it's extremely challenging, not just because of the turning circle, but because it's a whole different type of driving. And yeah, let's see what it does up over it. Front end is captured all the time. Ooh, ooh, oh. Yeah, a bit more floor weight's definitely needed. I'm gonna put a couple more brass bits on it and try and get a bit more weight below it. It's not like this motor won't take it. Here we go. Oh, that's a big jump. Good, well, can't run off that way, so we're gonna have to, oh, these servos are just crazy powerful. That servo literally just bounced the whole back end off. Oh, here we go. There's a tight squeeze through here. That was good. Still catches me out occasionally, that big old juicy hole just there. Yeah, this isn't easy to drive one-handed. I'm gonna have to get an extension on this, like I have done my GP5, the thumb extension on it. As I'm getting older, it's a bit more difficult to try and get that reach and not get cramped up, so. Right, where else can we go? Just try and bunny hop over this little gap just here. Ooh, it's a big tree. Big tree and a reindeer. Straighten myself up a little bit. Okay, well, it goes a lot more places than I expected. It is a little top heavy, I do know that. I'm just gonna have to put a little bit more brass down below. In fact, maybe even a full set of brass wheels might pay dividend on this, just to really kind of keep it quite solid. The motor's got enough torque to handle it, and then we just need to get this bit here sorted out. But other than that, it is super cool. Nice. It's such a different drive as well on the terrain. Really does make quite a bit of difference. I could put the battery underneath here, but I don't know if it would foul or not. Might be able to create a cradle that takes the battery right into the center bit here. I could put the battery behind this panel here. It's quite hollow in there. Yeah, servo is absolutely beastly, so I've got no worries there. The shocks are nice and soft, probably maybe a little bit too soft. I could just tighten all these up a little bit just to give them a little bit more suspension, or I could even put the slightly medium springs on it just to make that a little bit easier as well. But I think we're good. I think we can definitely run a trial of gates for the 6x6 and 8x8s at Reactive Terrain. Plenty of places it can't go, but there's plenty of places it can go. So that's super exciting. All right, so I'm going to do one more little run, tiny little line, but let me know in the comments below what your 6x6 runs, what tyre size you're running, what powertrain. Yeah, give us some details of if you've got a 6x6. Really enjoying this thing, actually. It's super capable, but not crazy easy, which is what I like. And the front end obviously causes a lot of issues. But I like that as well, because you've got to rethink how you tackle things. You don't, I'm one of these people that don't want it easy. I like a good drive. I like to have to think about it a little bit more, and this is going to be good fun. All right guys, well, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.